Welcome back to Wise Guys Adventures. Today, as you can see, I got my dad's 4x4 here, ATV, and then I got my little mini stove for my tent and everything like that. And so I'm gonna have a little, I guess, early winter camp out. I mean, it's pretty nice weather right now. It's about 40 degrees or something like that. So it's plenty warm enough right at the moment, but probably gonna get pretty chilly tonight. That's why I got the wood stove. So I'm just gonna find a little spot up here. Yeah, I think this right here is gonna be a good enough spot. Kind of this berm up here is gonna block me from the wind. This way, so I think this will be good. This isn't my first time setting this up, but this will be technically my first full night using this. I've set this thing up and I've hung out in it for a couple of hours and stuff like that for a day, but I've never done a full overnight with it. I'll get this area cleared out of it a bit. Mostly just sleep with me, but
one eternity later.
well, here it is, all done. My little stove and everything. Got a battery pack with me so I can, charge up my cameras and all that kind of stuff. Maybe my phone or something if I get a little bored tonight. But, yeah. Come back in a little bit when it's time for me to go to bed, and I'll have Ted with me too. So, till then. Alright, everybody. I am in the tent now. It's just after 5 o'clock. I got Ted here with me. Yeah, he's about ready to get his dinner. And then I gotta get the fire started and get started on my dinner. But, it's actually already very cozy in here. It's not cold, no draft in here as far as I can tell so far. But, yep, and I'll get started on my dinner as soon as I get the fire lit and I get some better light in here. I mean, doesn't put off a crazy amount of light, but at least I can kind of see what I'm doing right here. But yeah, definitely the headlamp helps a lot. But overall, nice little stove. Very nice little stove. Really hot as hell in here right now. Ooh, I gotta strip off my sweatshirt. Oh. Almost a little too hot in here with this thing. I even got, I don't know if you can see it, I got part of the tent even opened up at the top just to vent some heat out. So for dinner tonight, I got some venison steaks. Hey, not for you. You already had your dinner. But yeah, this little stove has a nice little top on here that you can take off to put a pan on. So that pan's heating up. Hopefully get my steaks on there. Oh, it smells so good in this tent. Yeah, I'm just going to give them a nice sear on both sides and then just let them rest for like 10 minutes. While I do that, I got some instant mashed potatoes I'm going to cook up on my little pocket rocket stove. Yeah, basting them in that butter. And some garlic. It's going to cook really quick. Only problem with this is you can't turn down the heat. This is delicious. Also got some potatoes resting over there. Yeah. Yeah, you like that, huh? Yeah, mine. No more. So, dinner's all done. Everything's put away. The fire going nicely. Nice bit of coals going in there. Got the damper on nice and low. It burns nice and slow. The way I average it, it's probably about every 30 to 45 minutes to kind of get stoked up. You can't stoke this thing up too much inside this tent because then the stovepipe isn't quite long enough, because with the size of my branches that I'm using, I'm kicking up some pretty serious embers, which normally would not be a problem if it was snowing outside. Unfortunately, it's not, or even raining a little bit, because then the embers just immediately go out the second they go out of the stovepipe. But in this case, no, they free fly a little bit. So I'm a little bit worried about potentially burning a hole in my tent. But, Ted's all snuggled in next to the fire here. I think he likes this setup a little bit. It's a little bit drafty on the bottom, but if you put your hand way up here, like, oh my god, it's like 70 degrees up here, if not hotter. Yeah. I did not have to collect a whole lot of wood. I have to put in half of that at a time. And that goes for, probably about 30, 45 minutes. Burns pretty slow. What's nice though is that with this tiny little stove setup, basically I can get a condensed set of coals in here, so I can basically, even if it like goes way down, as long as I have some coals in there, this baby will just keep right on going all night long. Every time I wake up, just put a little extra wood in it. Only downside is you have to wait at least half an hour after you've put the fire out to be able to touch or move anything out of this thing. So when I break camp down tomorrow, that's going to be a little bit of an issue. I was planning on just kind of leaving this stuff here for a little bit. Like, I mean, taking out my main bags and my battery pack and all that kind of stuff like that, and then coming back for this stuff later, like the remainder, like the actual like stove and the tent, because it doesn't take much to pack up, but it's supposed to pour tomorrow afternoon, so I can't really do that. But we'll see what happens. Morning, everybody. So it's a little after 4 a.m. right now. I just got the fire going again. I accidentally fell asleep. The fire went completely out. So basically, I didn't feel like getting up and getting it started again. So I basically just grabbed Ted and pulled him into my sleeping bag. We just snuggled for a few hours until it was finally early or morning enough to where I could at least get the fire started and all that stuff. So I think I'm just gonna hang out in here for a little bit and watch some videos on my phone or something. Might make some coffee and then just slowly start packing up everything into my bag and everything, and then once I'm just about ready to go and I'm ready to start moving around, I'll get the fire completely killed out, and then I think what I'm going to try and do is maybe just leave the stove here. I don't know. That's probably the best idea. Is just leave the stove here, let that cool off for a little bit, and then come back for it once it's cooled down. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, I guess. Like you can imagine, though, this was a success. However, it is a little bit of a pain in the ass because I can't stoke this fire up too much, because I don't know if you can even see it, but on top here it actually is starting to glow a little bit red, and I've even seen that in the stovepipe too. So yeah, you can't get this thing ripping too much, otherwise I might melt right through the frickin' stove.